Hello everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. Thank you so much for joining me. We are back with episode, I think it's 17 of our 4-book colour along in RJ Hampson's gorgeous book Awake. This one is aptly named Tai Chi, so we have our little gnome practicing Tai Chi. I'm guessing it's probably in the morning or something like that. So let's crack on with colouring him. As always, I'm using my Ohuhu markers and we are not worrying about any backgrounds. Just quick, easy, simple colouring. So I have to do my gnome's hat in red. I just cannot resist doing a gnome hat in red. So we have R8, R6, R160. These are my favourite red, combination from the Ohuhu markers. I really love it. It's a really nice, bright, kind of bold red colour. And yeah, I really like it. So I use this red combination quite a lot. In fact, you will probably notice in most of my videos, if I am using red, these are the markers that I will pull out because I just really like the color combination. So as always, I'm starting with my darkest marker and then I'm going to go in with my mid-tone marker and blend that out a little bit and then go in with my lightest. So his hat is quite a big area to colour. Oh, I can't speak tonight. So I am kind of going to go back and forth over those lines a little bit. And I'm just going to emphasize those lines that the artist has drawn in there as well. And just kind of extend them out a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go in with our lightest. And again, I'm going to kind of work over that transition area until I get it nice and smooth. And then add the rest of my colour over it. So I have printed my pages out onto Transitite Perfect colouring paper. I have mentioned this a few times before. I have got the downloadable version of this colouring book. So I have printed off the pages onto this Transitite Perfect colouring paper, which is a cardstock that's designed for alcohol marker use. So I find it, obviously the blending is really lovely on this paper. It's very, very smooth, which is what you want from an alcohol marker paper. It needs to be nice and smooth so that the ink kind of almost sits on the surface for a little bit and it allows it to remain wet so that you can blend it in. Okay, so I'm going to do my toadstool in red as well. Of course, it has to be a red toadstool, isn't it? It's funny how like there are certain things that you just like, they just have to be a certain color. I don't know if you're like that as well, but yeah, toadstools, gnomes' hats, they have to be red. I just, yeah, I can't help but have a red toadstool. And I am managing to get some white, some red onto the white parts, but that's okay. We can tidy that up later. I'm not 100% sure what color I'm going to do the spots. I think I'll probably leave them white. So we can sort that out when we come in with a gel pen later. Okay, I'm just going to go over that mid-tone section just one more time and just try and blend that out a little bit. Okay, right. What else do I want to do in red? I think I'm going to do his, let's see, I think I'll do his buttons here in a red colour. I like to try and kind of use the same colours throughout my picture so that I'm not bringing in loads of new colours as I go along. So I tend to kind of like, while I've got that colour marker out, I'll just do all the bits that I want to in the red tones. Oh, I've gone in with my darkest. That was a mistake, wasn't it? Let's find our lightest and we can try and push that out a little bit. Oh, and I've done my mid-tone. Right, messed that one up, never mind. So I've only used my mid-tone and my darkest for that little patch on his leg there. But that's okay, it's not the end of the world. Right, which one? That's my lightest. I got them around the wrong way and I didn't look, which happens sometimes, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, for his kind of belt, do I want to do that in red as well? Yeah, I think I am going to do that in red. So I'll just add a little bit of that on there. And then the mid-tone. I'm just going to leave a tiny bit of space for the lightest marker there. I don't see a great deal of it, but okay. Okay, yeah, I'm going to leave that bit for now. Right, let's do his kind of overalls. So I kind of want these to look like denim overalls. So I'm going to go in with a B, I'm trying to put these in order, B290, B260 and B250, which I thought had that kind of denim look. So for this I'm just going to work in sections. So I'll do this arm first. Again, starting with my darkest marker. And again, I'm extending out those lines that the artist has drawn there, just to add a little bit of emphasis. Then my mid-tone. Now these ones, there's quite a big difference between the mid-tone and the darkest marker. There wasn't a shade in between, so I'm just going to really work up over those transition areas to try and make that transition look a little bit smoother. And I may even go over this a couple of times. I'm going to see how it looks once I've got all my colour down. And finally I've got my lightest marker here. And I'll just go over those areas a few times. It doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to go back in with one more layer just to kind of help smooth it all out. And you can see that the paper is getting nice and saturated. You can almost see the ink kind of sitting on the surface as I apply it. It stays nice and wet, which is kind of what you want when you're working with alcohol markers. And finally with the last one. Okay, so I think that's quite a good colour for denim. Obviously, he can be wearing whatever you want, but I decided they kind of look like denim overalls. I just thought that was kind of fun. And I'm going to just kind of do this half of it. Again, I'm laying in my darkest marker where I want it. I'm going to make his pockets the same colour, so I'm just going to add a little bit of darker marker around the edge of his pocket there and around this bit. Okay, then our mid-tone. So I hope you are enjoying the colour along. For everybody that's been with me from the beginning, thank you so much for keeping up with me. And yeah, I've really been enjoying this. I thought I was worried that I might tail off. Sometimes I have a bit of a short attention span and I tend to lose interest, but I am really enjoying this. And I'm not finding it difficult to get one of these up every week because it's so quick and easy that it's quite simple to do this. It's not a hardship. I don't have to struggle. I mean, it can be a struggle sometimes to find the time. Like today, I'm having to film this at night. I normally would film it during the day, but I have run out of time. So I'm filming it at night. So the lighting might not be the best, but yeah, it's been fairly easy to keep up with the schedule. And I hope that you are all enjoying it and having fun seeing your pages come to life and your book come to life as we work our way through. I'm really, really loving seeing it kind of fill up with colour. And I have, although I've downloaded mine and printed them on paper, I am storing them in a little kind of clear plastic folder type thing. So yeah, I can see it filling up and it's cool. I'm really enjoying it. And I can't believe that we're up to page, I'm sure it's page 17 already. It's gone so fast. I remember thinking when I started this, I was like, oh, I don't know, can I keep committing to it? Am I really going to be able to keep up with one a week? But yeah, like I say, it hasn't really been a struggle. It's been quite easy to do. And I think it's just because it's so quick and so easy, and it really doesn't take any time at all to get a page done, which is a lot of fun. Okay, I'm just trying to be a little bit careful around the black lines because I keep forgetting about it, and every time I go over the black lines they tend to smudge a little bit, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Okay, that's that bit done. I'm just gonna sharpen that edge up there a little bit. Let's do this arm. And again, we're gonna just emphasize those lines there a little bit. And we'll do this kind of cuff on the sleeve as well. And making sure I get the right marker. This one's so cute. All these pages are just adorable. I'm not sure if I've got a favourite. I did really enjoy doing the caterpillar last week. I really had a lot of fun with him. I just really liked the green combination that I chose for his colours. I thought that was nice and bright and vivid and fun. But yeah, all the pages have been such a good laugh to do. And I just love the humour that R.J. Hampson has. He's got a real witty sense of humour. And all the images are kind of slightly amusing, and some of them are just the names of the pages are really funny. So I am really enjoying working through this book. You'll have to let me know if you have a favourite of the pages that we have done so far, and whether or not you are managing to keep up with the schedule, or whether you just kind of picked and chosen which pages you want to do. I know maybe you don't want to do all of them. That's cool as well. I'd love to hear from you if you are joining me in any way, shape or form. It'd be really good to hear from you. So let me know. Always tag me on Instagram as well. I love to see everybody else's pages, and I've really enjoyed seeing what other people have been doing. Some people have been doing exactly the same colours as I have. Other people have been adding their own twist to it. It's all cool. It's all good fun. And it's just really cool to see this book coming to life. And like I say, with each page only taking, well, between 30 and 40 minutes generally. Some are slightly less time, some are a bit longer, but really it's only 30 to 40 minutes per page. It's really not taking any time at all for them to get done, and it's a little bit of kind of me time, and sometimes an otherwise busy week, isn't it? That's the other good thing about this. I know, like, I can come away with a sense of achievement once I've done one of these pages. I know that I can get it done quickly. I don't have to spend hours sitting at my desk getting it done, and it's enjoyable time. It's relaxing, and it's nice to put colour down on a piece of paper, isn't it? And feel like you're getting something done. Because there are some days where you can spend 30 or 40 minutes colouring and you feel like you've not achieved anything, that you've not really done much at all, because the page is really detailed, or, you know, like it takes a lot of layering to get the right look. So yeah, it's kind of nice to sit down and get a whole page done in that time frame. And not that there's any hurry with colouring, it's always, but you know what I mean? It's kind of feel like you're accomplishing something. At least I do anyway. Okay, I think we're just about finished his overalls there. So there he is, he's got his denim overalls on, looking very blue. You could of course do them like trousers and shirt. I just felt like they looked like overalls. I don't know why. Right, what will we do next? Let's do his skin. So I'm going to go in with R29 and R080, and hopefully, I'm hoping these are going to be okay. So let's see how we get on. They've got kind of like a peachy tone to them, which I think works quite nicely for skin. I'm going to start with his face here. And kind of emphasizing where the artist has put the lines, and we can always go back over and blend this out a little bit better. I'm just trying to avoid those black lines because I do find that my alcohol marker makes the lines bleed a bit if I go over them. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful around them and not pull that colour out. Okay, I'm just going to go back in and darken those kind of shadow areas up a little bit. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'll keep that dark one out. Let's do this little mouth here. And his ears. Might as well do all of these, they're only tiny bits. He's got quite big ears. He's got quite big ears, our little gnome. One ear is particularly big, the other one's a bit smaller. He's got two different sized ears. Maybe his head's just slightly turned that way. Okay, so that's kind of his face done. We'll just add a little bit more shadow in there. Okay, let's do one of his hands. Let's start with this one. I feel like I've got some of that black marker streaking out a bit, but it's kind of hard to avoid sometimes. You just see it just in here. So I think some printers work better than others in terms of whether or not the ink bleeds. The original printer that I was using was just a standard kind of like run-of-the-mill inkjet printer that I had at home, but it was getting a bit old and it was leaving some streaky marks on the page. So I decided to try the more industrial strength one that we have at work. And it didn't leave so many streaks and marks, but the ink bleeds, whereas the one from my home computer didn't really bleed so much. But it's not too bad, you just have to be a little bit careful around the black lines. Okay, and his feet. Yeah, let's start with that one. Getting confused about which colours I've got. He's got quite big feet as well, isn't he? In comparison to his hands, they're quite large. He's obviously a very healthy gnome though. He takes his health and fitness seriously, doing his Tai Chi. I've never done Tai Chi. Not something I've ever tried. I have done a long time ago, it's making me laugh now. When I was back at university, I did do kickboxing. But as far as martial arts go, that was the closest I ever got. And when I say I did it, I did it as a fitness thing rather than competitively. I was never able to compete. I was never that good, and I didn't really keep it up for long, but it was fun. Okay, let's see. I'll do the little stalk of my toadstool here next. So I've got E10 and Y11. I was kind of debating what colour to do this, but I figured this was as good as any. Make it kind of a little bit of a circular look. It's got that kind of yellowish tone to it, but it's a bit, yeah, it's kind of got that, I don't know, mushroomy look to it, this colour combination, I think. I think you could probably go a little bit of a peachier colour as well. You could probably use the same colour as the skin to do the mushroom, the toadstool, if you wanted. I just thought I'd bring a different colour in. Okay, next up we just really have his beard to do. So for that I'm gonna make it look like he's got a bit of a white beard, but I'm gonna use some greys just to emphasize the white, which I know sounds a bit odd, but it's always something I like to add a little bit of shadow to it. So we've got CG2 and CG200, and I'm just gonna add a little touch of this CG2. But yeah, I think if you left it like stark white, it doesn't look like it's just flat, isn't it? So it's best to add a little bit of colour just to kind of emphasize the fact that it is white, because you know, white things have shadows as well, and I think it just kind of brings it a little bit more to life. Don't know if that's making any sense, but hopefully you know what I mean. By all means, leave it white if you want to. Okay, and then I'll just do this kind of bottom bit of his beard as well. So we're not adding a huge amount of grey to it, just a touch, just to kind of, like I say, emphasize the fact that it is white, but it does have some shadow to it. And just with this lightest one, I'm just gonna come in with a few little strokes. Nothing major. I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit. I feel like that's too stark now. I'm gonna get, where is it gone? I'm gonna get my colourless blender, and I'm just gonna go over the edge of that there, because I feel like it's just a little bit too much, and I'm just gonna blend that down, and that'll, once it dries off, it'll look a bit smoother. Okay, I'm gonna do this like a kind of like a silver belt buckle, I think, since I have the greys out already. So let's do that. Add some grey. Nope. We could use some metallic marker, metallic gel pen on this as well, but we'll do it like that just to make it look a little bit silvery. Okay, and that's pretty much him done. I'm going to add, yeah, I'm going to keep these white for now. I'm going to add a little bit of, let's use that R160 that I already had out just to do his mouth there. And then I'm going to add a little dot to his eyes, because I feel like his eyes are just a little bit too starey right now. So I'm going to just get a little bit of my black Secura Glaze pen here and just add a tiny dot to his eyes so that he doesn't look quite so starey. Is that a word? You know what I mean. And then I'm going to take my white Uniball Signo pen. This is the broad one, and I'm going to add some white gel pen details all over. And then he's pretty much done. So this one was super quick today. I really enjoyed it though. He's a lot of fun. He's very cute. You could kind of go around and white out all the black lines around his beard and moustache. I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to leave it as is. I don't think it really needs it. Just a few white lines here and there, just to bring it to life a little bit. Emphasize that kind of cartoony look. And a little bit on here, but you're not really going to see it too much. A little bit on his, I'm calling it a belt. I think it's a belt, I don't know. A little bit on his buttons. Maybe a little bit on his patch here. Around his knee. He's super cute. Okay, for the toadstool then, I'm gonna add some white down the side of it here. And then I'm gonna go over these white dots because I have got some red bleeding into those white dots and I want them to look properly white. This one's not too bad, but I'm just gonna go over the edges a little bit. And I can mask out those red parts where I went over with the red pen. Let's add a little bit of white down here and maybe some around here. And there we go. That is that. That was super quick and easy today. That is Tai Chi, all completed. I really enjoyed that one. That was quick and easy and fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I hope to see you back again next week for our next page. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.